Imagine this. You've worked hard your entire life. You've saved money, bought a house, maybe even invested in stocks, gold, or real estate. You thought you had secured your future, but then, one day, as you sit in your quiet living room at 70, you realize something money could never buy: peace of mind. And in that silence, you begin to understand. The most valuable investments are not financial, they are emotional. Today we're diving into the 5 emotional investments that guarantee peace in old age. These are not taught in schools, not written in your retirement portfolio, and yet they are the true currency of happiness when life slows down. The first emotional investment is relationships you nurture, not just maintain. Many people confuse family and friendships with ready-made securities, but here's the truth. Relationships are not fixed deposits. They are mutual funds. They require regular contributions, attention, and care. Imagine being 65 and realizing your children barely call you, your friends are too distant, and your partner feels like a stranger. That loneliness cuts deeper than any financial worry. But if you've invested in open conversations, forgiveness, and shared moments, you'll find your older years rich in companionship. Ask yourself, are you just related to people, or are you truly connected to them? The second emotional investment is forgiveness. Think about the weight you've carried for decades: anger towards a sibling, bitterness towards a colleague, or resentment toward a partner. Each unresolved grudge is like an unpaid loan with heavy interest, and when old age comes, the interest rate skyrockets, making you restless and bitter. Forgiveness doesn't mean you approve of what happened. It means you refuse to let it control you anymore. If you want peace later, you must forgive now. Not for them, but for yourself. Emotional peace in old age is directly proportional to how much baggage you've let go of while you still had the strength. The third emotional investment is curiosity and learning. Most people stop learning after a certain age, as if education was only meant for school or career. But here's the thing. Your brain is like a garden. If you stop planting new seeds, weeds of regret and boredom grow. Research shows that people who continue to learn even small things, like a new recipe, a musical instrument, or a language, stay happier and sharper in their old age. Imagine being 75 and still excited about mastering yoga, or reading books that open new worlds, or simply being able to use technology to stay connected with loved ones. Curiosity is the fuel of youth. When you stop being curious, you age faster, regardless of your biological years. The fourth emotional investment is gratitude. It sounds simple, maybe even cliché. But gratitude is like emotional gold. It compounds with time. Old age has a strange way of making you see life in rewind. You'll look back at memories and count not what you owned, but what you experienced. If you've spent your younger years practicing gratitude, you'll develop the habit of seeing beauty even in small things: the smile of a grandchild, the taste of a simple home-cooked meal, or the peace of watching a sunset. Gratitude transforms old age from a time of complaints into a season of contentment. Without gratitude, even a palace feels empty. With it, even a modest home feels like heaven. And finally, the fifth emotional investment, the most underestimated one, is self-acceptance. We spend half our lives comparing ourselves to others. By the time we reach old age, these comparisons solidify into regret. I should have achieved more. I should have been wealthier. I should have been healthier. I should have looked better. But here's the hard truth. Old age leaves little room for should-haves. Peace comes only when you accept who you are and what you've lived. It's not about giving up on growth. It's about stopping the war with yourself. When you learn to look at your wrinkles and see stories instead of flaws, when you look at your mistakes and see lessons instead of failures, you will find peace in the truest sense. Think about it like this. Life is like a bank account. You keep depositing and withdrawing. In financial banks, you store money. In the soul bank, you store emotions. The question is, are you depositing enough joy, forgiveness, gratitude, curiosity, and love to withdraw peace when you'll need it most? Let me take you on a quick visualization. Picture yourself at 80. Your body is slower, your hair grayer. But your mind feels calm. Your heart feels light. You're surrounded by people who genuinely care for you, not because of obligation, but because of love. You wake up each day curious about what it holds, grateful for what you already have. You carry no bitterness, no regrets, and no shame, only acceptance. That is not luck. That is the result of deliberate emotional investments you made decades earlier. So let's recap, not as a checklist, but as a roadmap. Invest in relationships, talk, listen, show up. Forgive. Let go of old debts of the heart. Stay curious. Never stop learning. Practice gratitude. See beauty in the ordinary. And most importantly, accept yourself. Stop fighting battles within. If you start today, if you treat these emotional investments with the same seriousness you give to your financial ones, you'll guarantee yourself a retirement not just of comfort, but of deep, unshakable peace. Because here's the ultimate truth. Money can buy medicine, but it cannot buy healing. It can build a house, but not a home. It can secure your survival, but not your soul. Peace is earned by choices, not by currency. So, ask yourself right now, what emotional investment will you make today for the peace you want tomorrow? And as always, this is the Soul Bank, where we don't just talk about money and retirement, but about the emotions that truly sustain life.